AI is now part of how software gets built. Copilot, Claude, Cursor. AI is embedded directly into everyday engineering workflows.
Teams are moving faster than ever. In modern enterprises, speed is no longer optional.
But as AI accelerates development, it also changes the nature of risk. Security, compliance, and engineering leaders are now being asked a different set of questions. Do we understand how this code was created? Can we explain the decisions that led to it? And can we support those decisions with evidence, months or years later, if required? These questions aren't about choosing between speed and security. Both are essential. Engineering organizations are optimized for flow. Security organizations are optimized for control. Compliance organizations are optimized for evidence. As AI enters production environments, enterprises now face a structural shift, one where velocity and accountability are poised to evolve at different speeds for all these functions. The result? Friction. And as AI becomes a first-class contributor to production systems, that friction becomes harder to manage. What makes Avarion unique is how governance is applied, end to end. At the first layer, control, policy is enforced directly at decision points, before code is merged or actions are committed. The second layer provides proof. Every approved action produces a verifiable record, including authorizations, exceptions, and any subsequent drift. The third layer captures context, not just what changed, but the full conditions under which decisions were made, preserved in a form that can be independently verified later. Together, these layers produce framework-specific, regulatory-ready outputs. If an action affects risk, it should be explicitly authorized, evaluated against policy, and recorded in a form that can be verified later. This moves governance from after-the-fact review to decision-time control. Avarion is a zero-trust, zero-knowledge governance layer for AI-assisted development, and we are deterministic, which means we don't use AI to govern AI. Think of it like a firewall between coding agents and the code repos. It operates at decision time, before changes are introduced into codebases. When an AI tool proposes a change, Avarion evaluates the action against a pre-approved, pre-configured deterministic policy, where you can configure high-risk areas, such as critical production code, intellectual property zones, or licensed and third-party files, in a way that they remain always protected throughout the software lifecycle. For example, sensitive actions by any LLM agent, Claude in this example, including changes to security logic, compliance-relevant workflows, or regulated data handling, require explicit approval. Low-risk changes, like documentation updates, tests, or non-critical refactors, proceed without interruption. This allows engineering teams to maintain flow, while security and compliance gain consistent, enforceable assurance. Every approved action is recorded with verifiable context, linking intent, policy, and outcome in a single evidence trail. Avarion integrates directly into existing development workflows. It supports modern AI coding tools through standard interfaces and enforces policy at familiar control points, such as pre-commit checks and merge gates. Governance is applied at the repository and organization level, without requiring developers to change how they work. Every decision produces structured, audit-ready evidence, mapped to established frameworks like SOC 2, ISO 27001, and the EU AI Act. Each decision produces verifiable records aligned with enterprise audit and compliance requirements. AI doesn't need to be slowed down. It needs clear, shared boundaries. Through Avarion, we ensure adoption, safety, and security by designing responsible, responsive control mechanisms, so that the increased developer velocity remains manageable, predictable, and trusted. This is governance designed for AI-first development.
Visit byteverity.com to learn more.